Welcome back to My Life on a GLP-1. This is the 10-minute podcast where we have a quick discussion on real experiences being on these weight loss medications. I'm your host, Scott Johnson.
And I'm Sarah. What kind of fun adventure are you taking us on today?
Today, we're tackling a big one. It's something almost everyone on this journey runs into. The questions, the looks, the feeling that you suddenly have to justify your own health choices to, well, basically anyone who has an opinion.
Right, the unsolicited interrogations. Usually when you're just trying to enjoy a party and eat a cracker in peace. It's a strangely public experience for what is a very personal medical decision.
It really is. I had this exact thing happen a while back. I was at a party, standing by the cheese table, minding my own business, and a woman I barely knew walks up, gives me this top-to-bottom scan, and says, "You're not taking Ozempic, are you?"
Oh, wow. Just like that. No greeting, no warm-up, just out of the blue?
None. And the way she said Ozempic was laced with so much judgment, like she'd just accused me of shoplifting. It was wild. And the funny thing is, I wasn't even on Ozempic. I was on Mounjaro at the time.
But that's not what she was really asking, was it?
Not exactly. What she wanted to know was if I had lost weight the right way, if I'd earned it, if I'd suffered enough.
That's it. The suffering part. As if misery is a prerequisite for getting healthier. It's this bizarre cultural idea that weight loss has to be a punishment.
It is. And for a second, my brain just went into defense mode. I was ready to pull out my entire medical history, list every failed diet from the last 20 years, and call my doctor as a character witness.
Right there next to the cheddar and brie.
Right there. Then I stopped and thought, why am I preparing a legal defense for taking a medication my own doctor prescribed for me? Not to mention preparing a defense for some Karen I didn't even know. And true story, I found out her name was really Karen.
You know, I have a good friend named Karen. It's a shame that name has taken on such a negative connotation. But tell us, what did you determine?
You don't owe anyone an explanation. Your medical chart is not public property. You get to decide who knows, how much they know, and when they know it.
But that's because when it comes to weight, it's treated like a moral failing instead of a complex medical condition. So any treatment is seen as what? Cheating?
I think that's exactly it. Our culture has spent decades framing body size as a direct measure of a person's character and discipline.
Totally. A smaller body is seen as a victory of willpower, and a larger body is seen as a lack of it. It's such a simplistic and harmful way to look at it.
And medications like GLP-1s completely disrupt that narrative. They prove it was never just about trying harder. For so many of us, our bodies were sending different signals all along. The constant hunger, the food noise, that wasn't a character flaw. It was biology.
That's such a crucial point. When a medication quiets that food noise, it exposes a really uncomfortable truth for some people. Maybe the struggle wasn't about laziness. Maybe it was about hormones, genetics, and a dozen other factors.
And that realization requires empathy. Judgment is just so much faster.
Okay, so that brings us to the most common scenario. Someone says you look great. What did you do? It's often well-intentioned, but it puts you on the spot.
Yep. And it can come from a good place, like maybe they're struggling too. But it can also feel like a demand. I've learned that you get to choose your level of disclosure.
Right. You can gauge the situation.
Exactly. So you could give a general answer, something like, "Thanks, I've been working with my doctor and making some health changes." Simple, true, and private.
That's a good one. It closes the door without being rude.
Or, if you feel comfortable, you could be more open. "I'm using a GLP-1 medication along with changing how I eat and exercise." And then there's the firm boundary option, if someone's being pushy.
What does that sound like?
Something like, "I appreciate you asking, but I prefer to keep my medical details private." And that's perfectly okay. Privacy is not dishonesty. A boundary isn't a lie.
You can tell the truth without handing over your entire file.
Exactly. Your journey isn't a prescription for someone else. And that brings us to the big one, the word people love to throw around, cheating.
Ugh. I hate that word in this context. Cheating at what exactly? There's no weight loss Olympics. There are no judges.
Precisely. No one is handing out extra points for achieving your health goals in the most difficult, miserable way possible. If a medication helps treat the biological factors of a recognized medical condition like obesity, that's not cheating. It's healthcare.
It's treatment. Plain and simple. It's like saying using an inhaler for asthma is cheating at breathing.
Perfect analogy. These medications don't do the work for you. You still have to manage side effects, navigate insurance, relearn your body's signals, and build new habits. The medicine changes the conditions, but you're still the one living the life.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes back to choice. You choose what's right for your health with your doctor, and you choose how, when, and if you share that with others.
Exactly. I ended up deciding to be very public about my journey, but that was my decision. I did it because I felt it could help reduce stigma and let other people know they weren't alone. I didn't do it because a stranger by the cheese table was entitled to an answer.
And that distinction is everything. Your story belongs to you. You can share it to help, or you can keep it private to protect yourself. Both are completely valid.
Your health is not a public debate, and your medication is not a confession.
That brings me to one common situation that comes up, though, and curious your opinions. Once people know you take a GLP-1, some of them decide you are now the regional customer service department for every weight loss medication on the market.
You are allowed to decline that job. Sharing your own experience does not make you responsible for someone else's treatment decisions. You can talk about what happened to you while also reminding people that their health history is different from yours. A simple response works well here. I can tell you about my own experience, but your doctor is the right person to help you decide if this is appropriate for you. That is not evasive. It is responsible. Your personal success story is not a prescription pad.
So here is a question often asked in the forums. Do people deserve to know more if they compliment your weight loss?
No, a compliment does not purchase access to your medical history. You can say thank you and move on. You can redirect the conversation toward how much better you feel. You can also mention the medication if you genuinely want to. What matters most is that you stay in control of the conversation.
So how do you determine who is okay to tell?
You might decide to tell one close friend who has been quietly struggling. You might discuss it in a support group or write about it publicly the way I did. You might choose to tell exactly one person and nobody else. Every one of those options is valid. Sharing it can carry real value when you feel safe and ready. An honest conversation can help another person feel less ashamed about seeking treatment. It can correct myths about how GLP-1 medications actually work.
Before telling someone about your medication, it can help to slow down for a moment. Ask yourself whether you actually trust this person. Ask why you want to share in the first place, and whether you are prepared for a reaction that might be uninformed or even hurtful. Consider whether telling them will genuinely help you, help them, or simply create unnecessary stress. Think about whether this particular person can respect information you would rather keep private.
There is no perfect formula here. You may feel open about it one day and protective of it the next, and that is completely normal. You can also become more open over time as you get more comfortable.
The bottom line to this question of does Karen deserve to know really boils down to the following. It depends. It depends on you. What I will say is how thankful I am to you, Scott. You have been on this journey for over 3 years and helped normalize the conversation through this podcast and your books. Thank you for your willingness to speak up. Tell us, what final thoughts do you have on this rather controversial topic today?
Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate you being here with me and all of our listeners. What I can say is this: 3 years into this, I no longer feel that old urge to defend how I lost weight. I know what my health looked like before treatment. I know how hard I tried for years. I know exactly what changed after I started, and I know the real work required to lose 90 pounds and stay in maintenance. Most importantly, my doctor knows. I still choose to tell my story because it has genuinely helped people. I talk about the medication, the side effects, the victories, the constipation, the emotional shifts, and the deeply humbling discovery that I might poop my pants in public one day. But here's the thing, I am choosing to tell it. That is the entire difference. So, on behalf of Sarah, I'm Scott Johnson. My final reminder is this: your health is not a public debate. Your medication is not a confession. Your story belongs to you. Stay strong and always remember to love your journey.